Hello, I'm Paul.
And I'm Scott.
And welcome to DC
I'm Proud.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Batman Begins Again season of DC I'm Proud. Yes, the 6th film. It's quite exciting.
For you?
Yes, we're building up to this one. It is The Batman from, what year was it?
2022?
2022, yeah, it was only last year.
It does feel like a long time ago,
yeah,
though,
it was
for some
ages
reason.
ago. Weird. Yes, it is The Batman. Plot description of this film. When a sadistic serial killer begins murdering key political figures in Gotham, Batman is forced to investigate the city's hidden corruption and question his family's involvement. That sounds pretty much what the film was.
Pretty much.
No mistakes there, IMDb.
No, I think so. Great synopsis.
Yep, it's directed by Matt Reeves and stars Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne, Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle, Jeffrey Wright as Lieutenant James Gordon, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler, John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, and Andy Serkis as Alfred. You got any facts, Scott?
I've got a few facts for you, yes, Paul. Firstly, we've got Zoe Kravitz and Robin Pattinson received the same advice from their predecessors for their roles, so Michelle Pfeiffer and Christian Bale, and they were literally told...
Not Anne Hathaway.
No, not Anne Hathaway, no. Skip that one. Make sure you can go to the bathroom in your suit.
Oh, I know. That is big advice. I always hear that
think
one.
so. Or just get a tube.
Yes.
You know, whichever. The last two punches in the train station scene where the victim is already unconscious when Batman says, "I'm vengeance." Mm-hmm. Iconic scene. Just done.
Yeah.
He improvised and he stated, "I wanted to say it as the guy is losing consciousness, so it goes into his dreams. I really wanted his future to be really, really damaged."
Jesus!
That's a bit dark, isn't it?
Very dark.
That's a bit method.
Yes. Well,
I don't remember this acting style in Twilight, really.
It worked. Worked for me.
Matt Reeves talking about the Batmobile. He liked the idea of the car itself as a horror figure, making it an animalistic appearance to really scare the hell out of people Batman's pursuing. There is absolutely a horror genre aspect to this movie, which is actually something I want to bring up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
I want to bring that up as well.
And yeah, I think we could talk about the car as well at some point. So.
Yes.
At one point in the movie, Falcone refers to Batman as Zorro.
Yeah.
In many versions of Batman's origins, the Wayne family was leaving a theatre showing the showing of Zorro when they were murdered.
The Mark of Zorro.
Zorro was acknowledged by Bob Kane and Bill Finger as one of the main influences for Batman.
Absolutely, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Why did I not know that?
Dunno.
Stupid.
Why are you so stupid?
Why am I so stupid?
The Mark of Zorro. That was what the film was called. The one that the legendary film that supposedly they're watching on the night. Very good. This is the Batman.
This is the Batman.
Most people know. I said it in the first episode. This is officially.
This is a 1 for Paul.
Yes, this is number 1, and it's like this is my third watch, and I'm still holding up there. This is my number 1 film of all time, and I gotta say, Scott, oh my god, the joy, the absolute joy I get watching this film, is insanity.
I'm actually surprised you've only watched it 3 times.
I know.
That's...
Wait, was it the 4th time? I think it's only 3 times.
I'm sure I watched that Titanic 3 times in 1 week.
This is the 4th time because I watched it twice in the cinema. Once when I got it on Blu-ray, and then this is the 4th time.
Did you see it in IMAX?
Yes. 2 times in IMAX.
Which one?
It would have been in Hemel Hempstead.
Hemel Hempstead.
Yes.
Because me and Butters went to the IMAX at Waterloo.
Oh, yes.
Very good. First experience there as well.
That was my first experience at IMAX watching The Dark Knight.
Oh, that's banging.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
Is banging.
That was an amazing time.
I didn't live in London then, so...
Yes. Okay, so I think the best way to tackle this film is to...
Is you.
Just basically...
This is going to be a lot of Paul, people.
Yes.
This is going to be a lot of Paul.
I think if we tackle characters and, like, items, so, like the car, like the score, Gotham in general, I think it's the best way to tackle just, like, chunks of the film. And I think there's no better way to start...
Who do you want to start with?
Than to maybe just start with Batman.
I think so.
Just start with Batman. And I just want to say, that if the bit after the Riddler section was the beginning intro to the film,
Yes.
it could possibly be one of the best intros to a film I've ever seen.
Interesting.
But, I mean, The Dark Knight probably wins that because
Oh.
it is actually an intro to
Oh.
a film. I mean, that is an incredible opening, the heist with the Joker.
Does that mean you had a problem with the opening for this?
No. So, but it's not that I don't have a problem with the Riddler bit. It's just that's not as good as an opening. It's not as good as the Dark Knight opening.
Because I feel like the first scene is pretty much a horror film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like completely.
Most of this film's a horror film.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, and there's tones and undertones of it everywhere. But I genuinely forgot on my rewatch how creepy it actually is. It's actually quite scary.
Yeah, man, the breathing.
The
breathing's horrendous.
It's when he sits on top of him and he gets the tape out, but you don't actually know what he's doing first.
Yeah.
I thought he's getting something else out. But,
Absolutely.
And it's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is tackle Riddler.
Let's just go.
Let's
Sorry.
tackle Riddler. We're on to the Riddler. Let's tackle Riddler. The reason why this works so well, like the Riddler, is it taps into so many different like kind of ideas of real life villains. Like you get like an idea like like school shooters.
Yeah.
Like this kind of network of people online that are just like just really creepy individuals that are just out to ruin the world. These kind of terrorist cells. Like it's all this kind of like horrific stuff that feels so real and connected to reality.
Yeah.
That it's just so creepy. And his outfit,
His outfit is brilliant.
So good.
Because I feel like now we've come into a time in DC where the films are taking themselves seriously. So the costumes and everything reflect that.
Yeah.
And they reflect actually existing in, like we said before, in our time.
Yeah.
Like The Dark Knight and stuff like that. They exist in our time. Because costumes from previous DC films won't mix. They just don't. I mean, I couldn't see him in a leotard with question marks all over it and stuff like that.
Exactly. And this is why this becomes so much more scary, because you can kind of link it to reality.
And it's you can't see any of his face.
Yeah.
And it's the glasses on top of the mask. It's just
so off-putting.
Yeah,
it's just
so
so off-putting. And the fact like we get this villain who is really feels, if you're going up against Batman, he's quite unthreatening.
Yes.
Right? He's someone who sneaks up behind you and smashes you on the head with a hammer.
Because he's just an everyday
He's an everyday
killer.
guy.
Everyday killer.
And that's it, yeah. And it's like when we come to this the parts in the end where he has the online blog of all these people who follow him, and he just sounds like this normal guy. Hi everyone, yeah, thanks for joining the blog. Yeah, and it's like, oh, this feels like school shooter kind of territory.
That's the psychotic break. That's like that kind of, and you've got, and it's so scary to think that we actually live in a world where that happens and that's possible. Like people support someone doing a violent thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever saw a film called Untraceable.
Yes. Yeah.
Where the more people watch it, the someone dies quicker.
Yeah.
And it's that kind of like,
and people
wanting to
it's that kind of online mentality, isn't it? Of like, you're a faceless person online, and you can do
keyboard warriors. That's what it is.
It's horrendous. It's scary.
Yeah, we live in that world, so it resonates so much.
And even to the point where all these people, like these people online, that he kind of recruits to come to the final act, and it almost feels like the Capitol building.
Yes. Oh my God! I'm glad you said that, because that was in my notes.
Yeah, and it's like these people all like just coming together in this group of people, just this one goal, and it's like you're all just horrendous people.
You're all horrendous people.
Yeah,
literally,
and
like
there's nothing else to say. You are horrendous, all of you.
Yeah,
and it's scary, but the fact that they all turn up in this kind of Riddler guise, and it's just really, really creepy. It's just these faceless people, and it's just the embodiment of that
is
online.
Literally what happened at the Capitol. Yeah. They're all wearing masks. They're all got their face covered and stuff like that, because they're actually afraid to show themselves for what they really are.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah. Oh, it's creepy. It's creepy stuff.
But I don't recall seeing the actor in a lot before I watched The Batman.
What, Paul Dano?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen
He's
him
been in so much.
but I feel like I've not. Is it really arty films and?
He's been in There Will Be Blood.
Yep,
Yeah. Have you seen that?
half.
Oh my god, man, There Will Be Blood's amazing. Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh yes.
He's the son in that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been in loads. I'm blanking
Yeah,
right now of
yeah.
all the big stuff he's been in, but he's massive. And
But
he's
this
a
is the
director
first
as well.
time he's caught my attention. I think, and I think it's just he's spun it into a very.
And Prisoners.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Fucking love that film.
He's great at playing these really like dark,
Yeah.
creepy
I love that
characters.
film.
Yeah.
Great film.
Yeah.
Because like the Riddler has this sense of the undertone of like the Zodiac killer and stuff like that. You know,
That's
it's-
it, yeah, Zodiac. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like-
Because he's sending these ciphers.
Yeah.
He feels, yeah, it's
And
the
it's-
same kind of thing. That's what I mean. It's very much.
It's so grounded.
It's very much like pastiching loads of different things from different killers through history, and like smashing them all into this one person. And that's why it feels so kind of grounded and real, because you kind of recognise these things that he's doing as real life people.
Yeah.
And just portraying one person kind of thing, which makes it like so well done. It's such a great way of doing
I
it.
agree.
At one point, he's like the jigsaw killer. He puts a trap. He puts
Yeah.
traps on people as well, which is great. It adds to the idea that this guy he's clearly smart. He clearly knows how to. He's clearly a very clever guy. He doesn't have the brawn
No.
as you would a normal Batman villain, which is why I love the Riddler, because it kind of taps into another aspect of it's the detective side.
Yeah.
And this is what I love. This whole film is the embodiment of everything that all the films leading up to this, I've said, oh, I wish it was a little bit more like
Yeah.
this, because this is the Batman I love. Detective Batman, very dark and gritty. He's an emotional Batman. It's a very, very twisted villains, all about serial killers down on the ground,
Yeah.
chasing clues and trying to figure out stuff. It is the perfect embodiment of a Batman film for me, which is why I bloody love it.
I know.
And one thing we do get that is a lot better than the first film we did on this podcast,
As in Batman 1966.
Yeah.
Right.
we get some great riddles that actually makes sense and you can work out.
You mean that are not rockets in the air?
Yes, they're not rockets in the air exploding and showing a riddle in the sky. Do you want to read through some of them?
Go for it.
Okay. See if you can remember the answer.
No, I probably can't now.
Let's see if you can remember the answer. What does a lie do when he's dead?
No.
He lies still.
Ah.
See, it's clever. It's
It's
clever.
very clever.
It's clever. It can be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when it's denied, it is violence you will find.
No.
Justice.
Justice.
Yeah, justice.
That's nice. I like that.
If you are justice, then please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye? Bribes.
Bribes.
Since your justice is so select, please tell us which vermin you're paid to protect. I mean, it's quite obvious why it's a rat.
Rat. I
It's
thought
a rat.
so.
You're
Yeah,
protecting
yeah,
the rat. I grew up from a seed, tough as a weed, but in a mansion in a slum. I'll never know where I come from.
Bruce.
Orphan.
Orphan, right? Same thing.
But they're better. They're better riddles. So
They are better. And also
you can actually create them. It feels like Adam West was just kind of somehow working them out in that 66 film.
I mean, what was it? Ballpoint banana.
Ballpoint banana. Very good, very good. And I've got to say, I think my favourite scene of the Riddler in this whole film is this bit where he's been caught, he's in jail, and he's basically telling
Yes.
Batman to come to the prison, come to hell, basically, where he is. And this whole prolonged segment of him saying, Bruce Wayne, and it's like, when the first time watching that, and even still watching it now, it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
he's figured it out. How has he done this? How has he done this? And it drags that segment out so long until he's like, we never got him. And it's like, oh my God, he doesn't even know. Oh, it's so well played.
Yeah, it is well
so
done.
bloody well played.
I think
love
the
it.
script's so sharp, and
Yeah.
the script is, it's just so strong.
Yeah.
It's, the depth of the character is just so, it's so rooted in the script.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
and then But this is the best thing now with, I think DC does this best, is it allows the actors to actually go into the characters.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think Marvel
there
does
is so
that.
much depth to these characters.
Marvel doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It just casts them just for... But the actors don't really go into that person that much.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in DC, it's more method and it's more about realising who that internal character is. And I think they do it better.
Absolutely. Wonderful. He did a really great job.
He did a good job.
Yeah. And even to the point where it's like, this still hasn't ended, all the city fucking...
Yeah.
All the bombs going off, and it's like, fuck, man, these people, this whole city's just like...
Yeah.
There's so many people dying
So
right
many-
now,
I know,
clearly.
I know.
There's so many deaths. It's
DC does
scary
that a
stuff. Yeah.
Not afraid to kill anyone.
Which I'm interested to see where the city is going to be in the next Batman film.
Right.
Because it's just literally just been destroyed.
Yeah.
It's going to be worse off than it was.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is this your favourite Gotham?
Should we talk about Gotham next?
Go for it. Sorry, I'm just skipping like all over the place.
This is my favourite Gotham.
Right, okay.
It is the best depiction of Gotham for me because it rides this very fine line of looking so gothic.
Yeah.
So gothic. Especially Wayne Manor. It is like he's living in Dracula's castle,
Yeah.
as said in Batman 89.
I said that in my notes, actually.
Yeah, but it also feels like a real city at the same time. So it grounds it, but also it feels like a unique city as well. It doesn't feel like the city
New
in Batman
York
Begins.
or Chicago.
Yeah,
or something
exactly like that.
yeah.
It just feels like you could be in any city, where here it feels like you're in Gotham.
Yeah.
It's actually a place. You feel down and dirty on the streets.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh, that looks like a place I've seen before in another film kind of thing.
I think it just takes the elements of Tim Burton's Batman and just mashes it with a real life kind of city situation, which keeps that Gothic-esque look, but makes it more us,
Yes.
like now.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say? What's your favourite Gotham? Would it still be Batman 89?
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is fine. I can get that. It is wonderful constructed, the 89 version. Just the outlandish gothic.
Yeah. And
which is Tim Burton all over.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
This one feels more real,
Hmm.
and I feel this feels more real than the Dark Knight trilogy, even though I know that's set between Chicago and New York. But this feels more real just because it's so rooted and so. Actually, it just feels more gritty, dirty. Everything that you think Gotham is, you think of all the crime, murder, drugs. It's literally in it.
Yeah.
There's no other part. It's literally all
Yeah.
in.
Where Dark Knight kind of feels, not so much in Batman Begins. It kind of feels a lot darker in Batman Begins, but like the Dark Knight, it just feels like quite a clean city, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like there's
no
this hidden
grit.
underbelly.
No.
Yeah.
Even when Kate Holmes and Christian Bale drive down into where Falcone is. Yeah.
It looks like a location that actually just exists,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
like a over.
You can find that
hyped.
under any bridge.
Yeah, exactly. And one thing I love is seeing that orange skyline. Do you know when he's standing on top of that? I think it's a renewal building that he's
Yes.
in, and
Yes,
it's where the bat signal is.
Yeah.
And it looks so beautiful. I love seeing. I know we don't normally get this until The Dark Knight Rises, where it's Batman in daytime, but you get it's almost like sunset, isn't it? You get this nice orange sky. I think it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of those shots you can just like frame.
Yeah, and I think the cinematography in this is so good.
Yeah.
It's so well balanced, especially like because obviously they're tackling all that kind of noir detective kind of. Hence why everything's darker. There's that shade of like red everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially like in the end scene when he's got the flare and stuff like that. It's so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's like it's incredible.
Yeah. Should we move on to Batman?
Go for it.
We said about
That's why we're going to start with Batman.
We're going to start.
but, you know,
Let's go to him. Let's go to him.
Scott ruined everything.
So there's no origin.
Nope.
We don't get a Thomas and Martha origin.
Nope.
We see them.
Flashbacks?
We see Thomas.
Do we?
Yeah, in his like speeches.
Oh right, yes.
We
yes.
don't
But I don't think we ever see Martha.
No, I don't think we do.
Or if we do, it's not fleeting.
Yeah, it's very it's very fleeting. But this beginning segment where, as you said, it's so noir. It's this noir narration what Batman Year One was doing,
Yeah.
but it works. And
That's it. This works better.
yes,
I
the
don't, I
narration
don't,
does.
I don't know what it is, but I think it's in this way. I think it's because his voice is better.
Yeah, and it's not.
There is an sense of menace and like
Absolutely.
fear and just this balance of all that together. That his voice just sounds.
It sounds so good. And it's not overusing this. It's basically in the beginning and in the end.
Yeah.
There's nothing else
No.
in between I can think of. But
It'd be a waste of really good actors.
yeah,
Then.
this whole idea of him saying he's basically created a situation in Gotham, even though it's very early days for him, where these criminals know he's there, but he's done it in such a way where no one knows where he is because he can't be everywhere. He's got to show that he could be hidden in the shadows at any
Yeah.
point. So these criminals are like, is he there? And this idea of these criminals staring into the abyss, looking into
Not
alleyways,
knowing if he's even there.
and even us as a viewer, like, is he there?
Yeah.
Is he there? Is
Yeah.
he watching? And it's scary.
It is scary.
It is bloody scary. And to see this when he finally appears, and you just hear the gung,
Yeah.
gung, and his
Like some kind
footsteps
of, like,
coming.
Footsteps, but like there's some kind of jingle to them
Yes.
as well. Like a cowboy when he walks
Yeah,
out.
yeah. And it's, oh man, it is one of the best constructed segments in film ever for me. I've never felt fear in a Batman film, and it was scary seeing
Yeah.
Batman walking out. This is what he's trying to like perpetuate when he's become Batman. He wants the villains to feel this when he's walking down this
Yeah.
corridor, and it does it in this. It
Yeah,
does it
I
so
completely
well.
agree. Completely agree. And it's also interesting to see that when he takes the cowl off and you see all the makeup around
Yes.
his eyes run, you don't see that because every time
Yes.
Batman takes his cowl off, the makeup's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
But like to see it all run down his face and it's like he's still wearing a mask when he's taking
Yeah.
the cowl off.
Yeah.
And it's artistically it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
it's so on
so
point.
well done.
Yeah.
So well done.
And it adds to this idea of how it makes him emo Batman. He's
Yeah,
emo Bruce
emo
Wayne,
Batman. Yeah.
and this is what's wonderful, and we never get this Bruce Wayne who is literally, his parents have been killed and his whole life has been dedicated to fighting crime. You wouldn't be a happy-go-lucky guy.
no.
It's like for someone who's going out his way dressing as a bat, it's like you'll be some depressed.
Yeah. You're
guy.
in some kind of state.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel that when he goes through these many moments of seeing this young boy, Robin.
Yeah.
I feel they're going to make this guy Robin,
yeah, I
right? This
think
little
so
boy.
too.
You see the tears in his eyes. He's getting emotional seeing this young boy who's just been through what he's been through when he was a kid. His dad's been killed, and
Yeah.
it's like he knows the emotion of that.
And I feel
it's
like there's
upsetting
also
him.
a sense that he's done this for how many years is he Batman at this time?
I think 2 years he's been Batman.
That he's looking at this little boy and he's worked for 2 years and he's just not quite managed to stop it. Like he feels like the sense
It's still
of
ongoing.
he hasn't done enough. And that's I think where the emotion comes from, as well as like understanding of what that boy feels like, but
Yeah.
also I've still not done anything that could have stopped this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just this is the only time we're going to mention this boy, but they show him so many times. It's like surely they're going to make
There's
this
got to be a
little boy
reason.
Robin.
There's got to be a reason.
They keep bring so much attention to him, even to the point where he gets rescued by him, by Batman at the end in that scene. But before we get to that, back to the subway scene where he's vengeance and he's fighting these people. It is like an Arkham game. It's sloppy. People are hitting him.
Yeah.
He's not like this kind of martial arts master. It feels like it's sloppy.
And it's actual punches.
Yes,
You could feel it.
You could feel them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's like doom. It's like
Yeah.
the bass. You can feel it in the.
There's that thud.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
just, but not even that. But you like, I feel like when Batman fights in previous films, you just don't. It's not hitting him. It's hitting the suit.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I feel like it's hitting himself, as
Yeah.
in the person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can.
You
hear,
feel like he's working through it and he's getting hurt.
Yeah.
He's actually
or
getting
you can
hurt.
feeling
doing
like
this.
the Christian Bale and stuff like that is like the sound of the suit being hit and stuff like that. Whereas this, it's actually like if someone was being mugged and stuff like that. It's what you think in your head. It sounds exactly like that.
It sounds impactful, all
Yes,
these punches.
impactful, that is the word. Thank you very much. I could have just skipped all of that and just said impactful. You let me ramble on.
Just let it happen. To go for something like Batman Begins, every fight sequence feels very orchestrated. It's wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
But this feels like someone's thrown a punch that wasn't part of the script,
Yeah.
and he's like has to react to it. It feels like he's stumbling. He's like just trying the best to make the best
Matt
of the
Reeves has
situation.
gone, right, boys, just go for it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Just
it.
literally go
No
for it.
one's waiting.
No.
one's waiting for their punch. They're all just tumbling on him, trying to
because they always
win.
choreograph it in, right, you're number one, you're number two, you're number
Yeah.
three. When you go down, you come in.
Yeah.
When you go down, you come in. Like, but this one feels like they all jump at the same time.
Absolutely. They're trying to find their shot to get
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, it's so well done, and to the point where he beats these guys. And I love the kind of arc we go on, because he wants to be vengeance. He
Yeah.
wants this be this symbol of fear, and that's it, right? To the point where this guy who was getting beaten up is scared of him as well. There's no
Yeah. Even though he's being
he's being saved.
but he's like, wait, is this guy going to beat me up
Yeah,
instead?
yeah. It's like this. People don't really understand what his goal is, and he's just there to defeat anyone who's causing any crime. And the journey he goes on to realise that he has to be a symbol of hope as well.
Yeah.
So bloody beautiful, to the point where he chops that electrical wire, falls into the water, pretty much sacrificing himself for everyone else. And then lighting that flare and leading everyone out. He's like the fucking Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
Like he's a symbol of hope, literally leading everyone out. All to the point of the woman who doesn't want him to leave at the end, because she's like, someone's finally realised that he's here to help people.
Yeah.
He's actually here to help people, and I love that.
And that for me, I think when he leads them out of the water and is probably one of the most beautiful shots
So
in the
beautiful.
film. Just
That
the
bird's
red
eye,
and
yeah.
I can't describe it in words. It's just, it's so beautifully done, and it resonates the emotion that it's trying to invoke.
Yeah.
And
With the score and everything, yeah.
like the score
Completely.
alone, like I think a consistent thing we've noticed during Batman, just during this journey, is the score just amplifies like what you're watching, and I think DC and Batman in particular do that so well. Even if it's, let's ignore 66, but like Tim Burton's Batman, because you've got Danny Elfman, and then you've got Christopher Nolan's Batman, and it's all the scores that are with these films just elevate it so much.
So much. And also to the point where the score kind of highlights what that Batman kind of is. Like
Yes.
with 89, it's this very kind of gothic kind of feeling,
Yeah.
which is exactly what the kind of Batman is. In Batman Begins, it's this very military, kind of uplifting kind of feeling, where this one, it is this emo
Yes.
Nirvana song, right,
yes.
that is very moody, and it's like doom,
Yeah.
doom, 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 doom,
But that also goes with like noir, but it also goes with the horror trope.
Yeah. It is like, that sound, it is very like horror-esque. It's like, it's like a scary kind of...
like old Dracula films and old
Yeah.
like old horror silent films and stuff like that. This is what happens when
It does evoke those feelings, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. It really
that,
does.
That score, absolutely. I bloody love this score. And I'm kind of feeling
Is it
like...
your favourite? You're toying with Dark Knight or Nolan's, aren't you?
Yeah, it'd be between those two.
Yeah.
But I think this is so well done. And what really interests me is it kind of... I'm wondering if in the next Batman film, they're going to take another song and
Right.
make it into a score for Batman.
They could do.
Because it feels like they're moving away from this emo,
Yeah.
and now it's a sign of hope. And I just wonder what they're going to do, because it doesn't feel like, if that's where they're leading to, that the emo something in the way
Do we know
song
what
is
like?
going to work.
Do we even know yet what the time frame is for the next one?
No idea.
Right. Okay. Because
No
we've
idea.
got the Penguin TV series
Yeah.
in between, haven't we?
Yeah.
Next year. So that would be quite interesting. But I do agree with the song, and I think if they can continue to do that, it will work.
Yeah.
like a different song and a
that
different
evokes
kind
a feeling
a
of what they're
different
trying
pitch and
Yeah.
a different like kind of
like man,
trope
they just
from
went
somewhere else that
just
they
pick
can-
Nirvana songs.
yeah.
for example.
you could do, yeah. Why not?
Find another Nirvana song that kind
Just
of
make them your
evokes-
own.
Yeah. And speaking of a sequel, I might as well go to this now. This is the first time I noticed this, and I
Right.
don't know how I didn't notice before, but when we get to the point where all the information is released about Thomas and Martha Wayne
Yeah.
and all their history and how there was this investigator investigating Thomas and Wayne and Martha Wayne and their history.
Yep.
And that he wanted to unleash the story, and then he got to be silent, right? So the last name of that guy is Elliot, right?
Right.
Which is the last name of the villain Thomas Elliot, right? Who's Hush.
Oh.
And literally, on the front paper of one of the newspapers during that segment said Hush Money,
Oh.
right?
I did not notice that.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they go in that direction, because it seems so obvious that they get this guy be called Elliot. I can't remember what the first name was, and then say Hush
then
as well.
Hush, yeah.
It's like, man, I'd love that. And also in the Hush storyline, there's a big thing with Clayface, who's supposed to be in this film, next film. He impersonates Thomas Elliot at some point
Right. Oh.
in
okay.
the Hush storyline as well. So that could all play into it. So it's very, very interesting.
Don't tease
if
me
they go
because
that
I
way.
love Clayface.
Yeah.
Like,
Clayface is going to be in the next film. So
I did not know
it's
that.
happening. It's happening.
Clayface for me is like the animated show Harley Quinn just does Clayface so well.
Yeah.
In fact, it does all its characters so well. But,
Yeah.
it's just one of my favourites.
That's the only thing that I don't know how they can do Clayface in this
Yeah,
world.
it'd just be a bit.
I feel like it's going to be literally like someone who maybe has plastic surgery or can manipulate themselves in a way to...
Yeah, and I suppose that's one of the things about if they are doing these films where it feels like it's the world that we live in.
Yeah.
You kind of need villains that can exist
Yeah,
today.
exactly. That's the thing.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
There's nothing supernatural
No.
in this film whatsoever,
No.
so it wouldn't make sense if not. Back to Batman.
Yeah.
Back to Batman.
Were you worried about Robert Pattinson or surprised?
I think I was surprised, but at this point we'd already see him do like great dramatic roles.
Yeah.
So I knew he wasn't just fucking
Edward Cullen.
Edward Cullen.
But
He
also,
was more than that.
I think when actors get films like Twilight, like Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, it's basically just to propel them.
Yeah.
That's not who they are. That's not their style. I mean, you've got Robert Pattinson that's done so many great films, like The Lighthouse and Tenant, and obviously as Batman. And then you've got Kristen Stewart who did Spencer, which is like one of the most incredible films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That
They've
people, that's
transcended
all
that.
people remember.
Yeah.
And they have to fight this battle to like prove themselves in a way.
Even though they clearly already have.
Yeah.
It's like it always reverts back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I wasn't necessarily worried about Robert Pattinson taking the role. I was just intrigued, I think, as to what he would bring and the direction it would take.
I mean, I think Heath Ledger taught everyone a lesson.
Well, yeah.
Because they were like, Heath Ledger's a Joker.
Yeah.
And it's like the most incredible performance you'd ever see in your life.
I mean, he may have gone into it a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit too much, but what a performance.
Yes. What is your favourite scene of Bruce Wayne?
Of Bruce Wayne?
Yes. Because I feel like when he's Bruce Wayne, there's just this blank canvas.
Yeah.
Because he's not there.
Yeah.
Like you said, because he's got all this emotion. He's like in a, if you say, a depressed state. There's just nothing conveyed on his face.
He hasn't learnt to put on the mask of Bruce Wayne yet. He hasn't. Even Alfred is trying to tell him, like, you need to be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You need to show this front.
Yeah.
To take the heat off of you, I guess, a little bit, and you could use it as a weapon almost to be this Bruce Wayne figure as well. And I think he's going to pick up that in
The next one.
the next one, definitely. It feels like it's coming. He's kind of learned something along the way that he needs to use this as a weapon. But my favourite as Bruce Wayne,
I love it at the funeral at the church.
I
mean, that whole scene for me
Yeah,
is just...
it is a wonderful scene. and I just like the fact that everyone is so surprised to see him just walking on the street. Like, he's almost like dead himself. He's not really among the citizens of Gotham.
No.
So to people like, Mr. Wayne, you're here.
Yeah.
It's like he's almost like a mythical character himself, which is cool. But yeah, that scene's great, and maybe the stuff just that surrounding with Falcone when he confronts him and stuff like that. It's quite cool.
I feel like the facial expressions he's pulling as Bruce Wayne are Batman's expressions, because that, I feel like even with the cowl on, that's exactly the same face you're going to get.
He's only in one
underneath.
mode.
Yeah, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Like you say,
He's living one life right now.
He needs to be able to split that, and he needs to do that in order to protect people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think he learns with Alfred. And yeah. Speaking of...
As you mentioned, Alfred.
Yeah, go on.
Was that where you're going to go?
Yeah, go on, let's go for Alfred. Let me say one more thing, actually.
Go for it.
Just talking...
You love this film, yes.
I love this film. Just talking about two things. Let me just talk about the suit and two things that I quite enjoyed. One is I like that he uses one of his... I think he might use his grappling gun. Or maybe a batarang. Does he have batarangs in this?
I can't remember any battering.
Either way, he hits a fire extinguisher.
Yes.
And it releases the smoke. This is during the end scene with all the Riddlers.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like the idea of, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Because this really helps me in this fight against these people. So he's kind of like, that's the origin of almost like the smoke pellets.
Yeah, and all the theatrics and stuff like that.
Yeah, the theatrics of it.
Yeah.
And also a little hint towards Bane. He gets something out that is bright green and puts it into him. It's obviously some kind of adrenaline, but I think it's venom, which Bane has, that basically makes him so hyped up, but also angry.
Yeah.
And like he's just punching this guy like, and it's like, this is clearly like Bane's venom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. And what do you think of the suit in general?
I generally love the suit because I think it's very much of a... We're not quite there yet,
It feels thrown together, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Whereas I think the struggle with, like we said before, Nolan's suit is very military. This actually feels like it's been made by him and put together by him rather than a soldier's suit.
It all feels very practical, like all the bits he has.
Yeah, it's not a soldier's suit. He's not quite there as a soldier and the way he looks, but I think it elevates it more, and I think it helps understand him more, and I think it fits in that Gotham and the darkness and the noir of the entire film. I think the suit suits that.
I read Batman Earth 1 earlier on the year, and they definitely got some like inspiration from that, because it has the Batcowl especially. It has that kind of like sewn. It's got like those sewn together lines in the cowl. They got that in Earth 1, so it looks very much like the suit that inspired this film. But I really love that it's all a bit thrown together. I like the detachable bat symbol.
Yes.
Even that is like a tool that he uses to multiple things with. You can cut some fucking electrical wire. And how about the squirrel suit that makes him fly? That is very different.
I mean, what did you think?
I'd like it.
You like it?
Because it makes sense and it looks practical and it's something that is actually workable in reality. Whereas if you just have a little bit of material, that'd just be a parachute, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's only how that's going to work.
Not really going to fly.
Where this is like a literal squirrel suit that people use, an inflatable squirrel suit.
But I think it works in the sense that you believe it. So
it's almost like a get out of jail card. It's not something he's going to use all the time.
No.
But and he must have hurt himself so much.
Oh yeah,
when he
definitely.
Didn't he hit into a bridge?
A bridge.
Yeah, he hit a bus or a car and then smashed into a bridge after that. Yeah, hurt. Very much hurt. He was. But yeah, I think it looks great. It looks so great. Go on then, Alfred. Let's go to Alfred.
I like Andy as an actor. I think he has really come into his own as now he's the forefront of actually being on screen himself rather than being...
Yeah.
You know, when he did all this thing for Kong, where he's like...
Mocap.
Mocap, that's it. Thank you. He's actually been given now the chance to actually show himself as an actor. And I think it's not my first choice for Alfred, I won't lie.
He's underusing this.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he's given his full potential. I think, if I'm going to be honest, out of all the cast, I would say he's the weakest. But I don't know if that's because he's not given enough time.
I don't think he's given enough, but yeah, I can
But also,
see
I
that.
feel like he doesn't quite understand his character yet. If that makes sense. And it just... Yeah, I think there has been better Alfreds.
Absolutely. It's going to be hard to beat Michael Caine.
Yeah.
Michael Caine is like still the ultimate Alfred.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not really a main player in this. He just kind of...
He's there for that emotive shock
Yeah.
and that push that Batman needs to...
He's there for a lesson,
Yes.
basically, to realise that there are still people he can lose. It's not just... He can't just go out there and destroy himself and hopefully bring peace to the city.
Yeah.
He needs to understand that he has people he's got to look out for as well.
Definitely.
But I like that Alfred clearly has some smarts himself. He's out there solving ciphers. He's looking out there for Bruce. He wants to protect him, and he feels like this very fatherly figure. And I like that moment where he doesn't have any cufflinks on, and this is this whole thing of Bruce isn't really Bruce Wayne right now. He's just Batman. That's it, and he needs to kind of have this presence and look after himself. And here you go, take my cufflinks. I like that. It's like, oh, it's quite sweet. He's this caring kind of fatherly figure, and he's always there for him.
But Bruce doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand he could lose that.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't even know it's there. Everything just happens for him.
Yeah.
He gets fed, he gets watered, and it takes that sense of loss and that hurt that he needs to propel to make him into the two people that he needs to be rather than just the one.
Yeah. I'm wondering as well if it's a little bit of he almost at this point doesn't really want Alfred to get involved as much as he is, where he kind of like inserts himself and tries to help him with the ciphers and stuff, but maybe in the next film he might get involved a little bit more, hence why we didn't get much in this, but he's realised that he's here to help and be like a figure that he needs in his life that can help him get through whatever he needs to get through.
And that's not a bad thing against the actor. I think it's just he was probably, I think, the least well written, I think, in the sense of character-wise. And I just don't think given enough time, like everyone else is given their screen time to grow and breathe and stuff, I feel like he just wasn't given that opportunity.
Yeah, sure. Gordon, wasn't a choice I was expecting, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I don't know why, because I really love Westworld. So he's just such, as an actor, he's just such like a calm river. Yeah. Like there's no urgency to him or anything like that as an actor. I feel like every role he does is just slides along, just like... They've kind of gone for the same approach as Gary Oldman, as in like he is this total by the book kind of person, but he also has like this kind of funny bone. Yeah. And I kind of like the funny elements that Jeffrey Wright brings to it, like the whole bit I really enjoy, where Batman's basically been captured by all the police. Well, he's not captured, but he's in that room and he needs to get out. And Jeffrey Wright's like in his face going, "You need to punch me in the face." he's like making it look like he's having a really angry conversation with him. Yeah. But it's like, I really like that kind of, he brings that kind of funny element to it. It's great.
I get that. I feel like there are similarities with his character in this and the character he pursues in Westworld, in the sense that there is a stillness to him, but there's also that dark element, I think. And I think as we continue to watch Gordon grow, I think that will become more of a play. But like you said, at the minute he's very by the book, very... He's another one that needs to push himself to be something more.
Yeah. I think there's an element of like naivety as well to him.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't feel like he truly sees that like the whole of Gotham is corrupt at this moment.
Yeah.
There's definitely like he almost seems surprised, like, oh, what do you mean that person's corrupt as well? It's like everyone's
Drugs?
corrupt.
Where?
Don't trust anybody in this place. So I kind of like that. But what I do like about this film, the fact that you get no origin, the fact that you get so many characters just like kind of poking their head in at many points, is because at this point they know that everybody knows what Batman is, who's in this world. So bringing all these characters in just kind of fleshes out Gotham for me.
Yeah.
Even if it's like you get a small bit of Gordon, you get a small bit of Alfred, you get a small bit of like some villains like Penguin. He's just a side character. He's not a main character. It's just fleshing out Gotham for me. It just makes it into this whole
Which
world,
is what you
this
said
universe.
about year one. It's not necessarily focusing on them in the story, but you know they're there, existing
Which is
in the
nice.
same time. Yeah.
It's like real life. It's like not everyone who's in your
not
life
everyone
has to be a
knows
main
each other.
player.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like they just show up, you have a little chat with them, they go.
Yeah.
You know he's a person in the world that exists. Just how this is nice. It's nice. Catwoman though, what do you think?
Another one where I want to say I was surprised by her casting, but actually I don't think I was, because I feel like over the last few years she's really come into her own as an actor. From obviously from X-Men, which underused and undervalued in that film, I felt, and I think probably only cast because of her name.
Yeah.
Whereas now she's actually worked at her craft.
Yeah.
Not my favourite Catwoman.
No, not my favourite either.
But I understand the direction and the choices behind Selena Kyle.
Like you feel she has a purpose, and I feel like she's not just there to be like, oh, I'm just going around robbing people.
Yeah.
It's like that is just my character. That's my trait.
Yeah.
I feel like she's there because she's literally driven to help her friend, and she almost gets caught up with Batman along the way. So it's believable that she's there. It's believable that she would be going about doing these things for a specific reason.
Yeah.
She's going to go and rob this safe because she needs the passport for her friend. It all feels like she's there for a reason. It's not just like, I'm just robbing a diamond from a store.
No, and I feel like you can feel it when she finds her friend's body is it in the trunk of the car?
Yeah.
You can feel it.
You feel that, yeah. She doesn't expect to see it, and it's like shock.
She's I think in her head she's believed that she's alive somewhere. Even though she knows these people are horrible. But I think until you see her reaction to that, her friend in the trunk of a car, I think that's when she really came into her own.
And there's a heart there with her.
Yeah.
Where if it's like Anne Hathaway, she feels very cold and she's cut off from any emotion. And until the very end where she gets a bit of emotion, but I think it kind of warms you to this Catwoman a little bit more, just for that reason, which is nice.
I feel like for The Dark Knight Rises, it was more so to give Bruce that happy ending. I think that felt forced. There are elements of Anne Hathaway as Catwoman I really enjoyed, like in particular when she gets the fingerprints and goes to give them to what's his face. And then she screams because she's like they're captive, and then all of a sudden she just stops screaming and like just walks out. I think it's really clever. Yeah, I think Zoe does it better because I feel like she has more of a purpose.
And you feel like there's something growing between her and Pattinson.
Yeah, there's some kind of fetish thing going on there. Definitely.
Yeah. She
loves leather.
What does she like? She says she has a thing about strays.
She has
a thing about strays,
I think
which
I put
is
that
nice.
somewhere.
Yeah, which is nice. And it looks. I like her thrown together costume. It's not over the top. It's not like, oh, there's a Batman and there's a Catwoman.
It's another one I feel like looks made by her.
Yeah, yeah. It's almost like, oh, the ears are just like, not done
from
on
a costume
purpose.
shop.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, they're just there.
Whereas again, Anne Hathaway's was very military. This feels kind of like Selena Kyle from Batman Returns, in which she made it herself. Yeah. I mean, you don't get to see her make it herself. But you get that.
Yeah. I also get the feeling like that maybe there's a little bit of prostitution element.
Yes.
Like year one, because she opens her cupboard, she has loads of like whips and leather stuff, and it's like this is clearly something she just used from her sex dungeon.
Yes.
Which is fine. It makes it more believable
exactly.
because it's like this is a profession, so she's just using that.
Exactly.
Should we talk about Penguin?
Go for it.
Fantastic.
I've literally, I have no bad words to say
I know.
whatsoever, and I still cannot believe that's Colin Farrell.
I know. It's just nuts, isn't it, to think Colin Farrell's all underneath
It's probably one of the best transformations I've seen in film. I think not even like just because of prosthetics. I mean, in terms of who I know him as a Hollywood actor to who he plays in this.
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't. I literally can't.
It does not surprise me that they're doing a little spin-off series.
No, because I think he's just done so well.
Yeah.
He's like I never thought when I saw the casting that Colin Farrell could do that. I did not know that.
And he's definitely channeling like De Niro.
Oh yeah, completely.
Like, absolutely. Especially, you definitely notice it during the where he's being interrogated by Batman and Gordon, and he's like, "Come on, come on!" It's like it just feels like he's channeling De Niro in that.
I love the car chase. I think one of my favourites.
So good.
This
guy's crazy.
It's just so funny. It's when he thinks he's got away with it and he starts cackling to himself, and then Batman's car just flies out the flames. It's just like he's like, shit.
It's so well played.
But he's incredible transformation.
So bloody good.
Absolutely.
So bloody good. Just a little moment of him when they leave him all tied up and he's waddling off. It's like, he's a penguin. He's a penguin.
Oh my God, I completely forgot. It just makes me remember 1966. And what does Penguin do? Doesn't he quack all the time?
Oh, yeah. Quack, 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 quack.
But again, more grounded and more like a mafia guy. That's who the Penguin is, really, to be honest.
I like the idea that he's basically just one of the henchmen of Falcone.
Yeah.
And I like the idea that it shows him at the end saying, people are going to rise up out of this. They're going to take advantage of this situation. And it's like, that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
And it seems believable that this is what's going to happen in this series. And
do we know what the series is about? As in, is it
I think it's him
before
rising,
this?
I think it's him rising through the ranks.
Right.
Now that Falcone's gone, he can kind of make his way and
I take it Batman
become a
won't
big
be
boss.
in it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I can imagine maybe we'll get like a little appearance.
Okay.
I can imagine so. Maybe Jeffrey Wright will appear. He loves being in a TV series.
Maybe they filmed that bit already when they were doing this.
Yeah,
so.
potentially. Yeah. There's been a big gap though.
Yeah, true.
Even during the strikes, they've come back now to carry on filming it. It's like there must be a massive delay. But yeah, he's
very
great.
good.
So great.
Like I'm a massive fan of Colin Farrell anyway. Like in Bruges, I really like his version of Total Recall.
I've only seen it once, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
I mean, it's bad, but it's like good. But
I mean, the first is a 10 out of 10 for me, so I don't
oh yeah, you won't like it. Don't worry. But to see him literally transform himself and lose himself in a character like this, I think is just astonishing. Absolutely astonishing. Just so well done.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the last person to cover really is Falcone. It's nice seeing John Turturro in here. I like the fact that we get a nice little Easter egg, like we did in Year One with the scratch on the face. It also happens in Long Halloween or Dark Victory, I think. He gets a scratch on the face as well. Nice little Easter egg there. He's great. I like the whole thing of the twist that he actually strangled Catwoman's mum.
Yes.
It's like just by showing him strangling, it's like, you're the strangler, mate. You're the strangler. But it's nice and shot. It's just another one of this, like layering up Gotham again. It's nice just to have him there
because he exists in this world somewhere. So it's nice to be able to put that face and that actor to that role.
Let's talk about the Batmobile.
Banging car,
so good, so good.
car.
And I can see what you mean about like it is like a beast. It's like an animal, and it's scary.
Yeah, it give me vibes of Christine.
Yeah.
Like, the Stephen King novel / and the film as well. But like that, just that. And I get what Matt was saying in the sense that he wants people to be petrified of, like, it's literally like an animal coming out of the fire, like roaring.
Yeah,
like,
and it's literally on fire. Like this, the engine's like this orange glow.
The
of
wheels
like fire.
are like the wheels are on fire, and like, all the rubber's burning, and it's just like, or you can hear the roar as it comes out the fire towards like the Penguin's car. And it's just so So
And
good.
the fact that he goes, vroom, it's like he's trying to like, go on,
Yeah.
go on.
Go on, what are you doing?
What are you gonna do?
But you can see, I think we talked about it in 1966, you can see elements of that car in this.
It's just like a muscle car, basically. Like just a souped up muscle car.
Yeah.
That's just a beast.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's not there to show off money, and it's not there to be outlandish like Batman Forever or Batman and Robin car.
It serves a purpose, which is fear.
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
trying to just drive that element of fear into everyone. And
But you've got the 1989 Batman car is very gothic.
Mm-hmm.
This is just this is what a young Batman would buy
Yeah.
and make out.
And it once again feels like
Homemade.
it's homemade and scrapped and put together.
Yeah.
It's not a big
Agree
tank
completely.
that people could be like,
No.
that came from Wayne
Yes,
Enterprises.
I've seen those somewhere on the TV. I thought that was in the catalogue. Yeah.
But yeah, so good. So bloody good.
Yeah. I
It's
take it
just-
you were happy with the pacing of the film.
I was so happy.
Good.
Fourth time watching this, nothing drags.
Yeah.
Everything is absolutely perfect for me. Even to the point of yes, characters might be fleeting, but as I said, it just feels like they're layering up Gotham as a place and making it like fleshing out like
But
these people's
they're
existing.
creating a world, aren't they? So
Yeah.
I think, and I think the goal in when you do films like this is to make more. So you need to flesh out characters that you will bypass and stuff like that, which is I don't know why I'm going to go into this, but this is why Halloween Ends failed in not mentioning Corey before.
Yeah, that would have helped.
It would have helped a lot. I mean, I love Halloween Ends. It's one of the best ones. But I think a lot of people struggled because this guy just appeared.
Yeah.
Whereas he's been consistently.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Even if just in the background.
Yeah.
It would have had a bit more of a punch.
Just hinting at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely.
if this is a starting point as we go on towards whatever Matt and Robert have in mind, then fleshing out all these minor characters, background characters, do just bring that element of understanding that world and being in it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just simmering. There's all this crime happening, all these smaller characters that are not necessarily part of this bigger plot, but they're doing something in the background, and that's Gotham. That's Gotham. We're here for it.
why people live in Gotham, I don't know.
I don't know. Smooth away. I like the new take on the Batcave. It's like a disused train station.
Yeah.
A very gothic train station. Loving seeing the bats. There's bats in there too, which is nice. Yeah, it's good. Best Batcave, probably still the Dark Knight.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe it's Batman '89.
Out of these ones? Batman 89, I think. Because I still don't understand it.
I know, just never-ending pit. But love it anyway. Final thing.
Go for it.
I wonder if you rewatched this again when you finished the film.
Right.
Did you rewatch the Joker scene?
No, I did not.
Do you remember it?
I think so. Why did I not watch it? I don't know.
You get a hint of the Joker obviously at the end. I'm just wondering what you thought of it. Do you have an idea? Like, do you remember watching it and what you thought?
No.
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 So it's Barry Keoghan. And
was it in Arkham?
Yeah, it's like a deleted scene.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to take place like halfway through the film when Riddler's still at large, and he basically comes to him like Hannibal, basically asking for his advice on who he thinks this person is.
Yeah.
And it's all very shady. You can't see him, but apparently Joker has a degenerative heart
Condition?
defect
Right.
that makes his skin fall off. I can't actually remember the description, but it gives him this kind of horrific kind of lips kind of pulled back away from his teeth kind of look, and he's got the green hair. And I at the time I was like, oh man, they should have just kept it in, because it is a very striking scene. But at the same time, I'm like, is it a little bit too over the top to leave it in? It is a bit very theatrical, which you'd imagine Joker to be.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think when I saw it in the IMAX, I think I remember the scene at the end. I think my first thought was, not another Joker.
Yeah, I know. That's what most people think, I thought. But
Just-
for me, it was another one of those, they're fleshing the world out. And the fact that he'd already been caught.
He's in Arkham.
He's just in Arkham. You'd expect him to be there.
It's just, when you see you've seen a character being done so
that's
many
the thing,
times.
yeah.
I think that, in the sense, even though you don't know where the Batman 2 is going, but you're like, please do not include that character. Please don't. Like, we've already got a separate Joker film. We've already done Joker so many times.
Yeah.
Just, there's so many
Let some other villains breathe.
amazing villains and characters out there you can just
Which it
bring
looks
out.
like they're going to do in their second one. It looks like they're going to do that. But absolutely, yeah. I definitely feel that too. They don't need him, especially when we're getting Joker 2 literally next year. It's like, just let that be. And I always still have my hope that they'll just tie Joker and Batman together.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
No, I don't either.
But yeah, I liked it. But over time, I thought, they probably didn't need to include it.
No, I don't think they did.
But
It's just one of those things now that I just feel like films force these end credit scenes. And you don't need them. And half the time, they don't mean anything.
yeah,
And I blame Marvel for it completely.
yeah.
And I just,
It's a call to a sequel, kind of the end of the actual Batman.
There's one at the end of Scream 6.
Is there?
Yeah, it's just Mindy taking the piss out of end of credits.
Oh, okay.
But like, I just,
I don't remember that. I don't think I stayed.
I might have done because I knew it was coming. Only the first time. But yeah, I feel like it wasn't needed, and we don't need to know that.
For sure. Well, that was the Batman.
That was
the
Batman.
I think we've gone through
2022.
Yes, 2022.
2022.
Only last year. Only last year. But I love it. It is my favourite film of all time. So what it's going to be. It's a 10 out of 10. But what I'm most interested in is what your score is, because I remember it was not a 10 out of 10.
No, it wasn't a 10 out of 10.
It wasn't a 10
and
out
it
of 10.
still isn't a 10 out of 10.
Well, there you go.
However, it's gone up.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So I originally had it as an 8.
Okay.
Now it is a 9.
Wonderful. What do you think helped you to elevate your score? Is it the fact that we were doing this podcast on it, so it got you excited to talk about it?
I think so, but also the fact that I think I've not watched it since the cinema. So, and obviously the IMAX is a very unique experience, especially the one at Waterloo, because the screen is so big. I think probably back then it was a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think actually getting to watch it at home on my own TV, I think it just made me realise how much I probably missed, because there's so much going on in IMAX and a massive screen.
It's nice to sit down and just relax into it and be like, absolutely.
So I think that's the reason that I just enjoyed it more, just because I got to live in it a little bit more.
I think half the time, especially when you enjoy a film, your best watch of it can normally be your second watch, because you can kind of experience everything knowing the full picture.
And also your excitement's gone.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not
so
expecting
hyped for a film
Yeah.
that you're probably not taking note of everything going on.
Yeah.
Whereas this time I feel like I have.
Yeah.
So that's
you can
why
really
it's gone
process
up
it. Yeah.
1
Wicked.
to 9.
So our average is a 9.5, and it becomes our new number 2. It's
2.
dethroned Batman 89 from second place. So our current rankings, we got Batman Begins number 1, The Batman, Batman the movie, Batman Master of the Phantasm, and in last place, Batman Year One. Happy with that?
I am.
Cool. Yeah.
Our friend Alex is not.
No. But that's it. That's the end of our
Batman Begins Again.
Yes,
we're
Batman
done.
Begins Again season. That was it. All 6 films that we were going to cover. So
That doesn't mean we're going anywhere.
No, it doesn't mean we're going anywhere. Basically, it means that the next episode is going to be a little wrap-up episode where we're going to be talking about all things Batman, and we have a little subject we're going to talk about. And we're also going to be revealing what our next season's going to be. So it's all very exciting, and we can't wait to reveal that to you.
Yes.
But until then, we'll tell you Merry Christmas next episode.
Yes.
But we hope everyone is revving up for a wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
Before we depart and bring you a new season in 2024.
Very merry DC Christmas.
Oh, very merry DC Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.